Ladies and gentlemen, there are times in life when it feels like the weight of waiting is almost unbearable. You've prayed, fasted, and stood in faith, yet the breakthrough you've been longing for seems delayed. You've trusted God's promises, but the silence of His response makes you wonder if you've been forgotten. But let me remind you today that God's timing is perfect, and His promises never fail. The waiting season is not wasted, it is the womb where God forms what He has prepared for you. In the quiet moments, God is not absent. He is working behind the scenes, aligning circumstances, people, and resources to bring His plans to fruition. And when you least expect it, you'll see signs that the breakthrough is closer than you imagined. These signs are not coincidences, they are divine markers, whispers from heaven, that the wait is almost over. The waiting season is one of the most challenging yet transformative periods in life. It is a time when our patience is tested, our faith is stretched, and our trust in God is refined. Though it may feel like a pause, it is a vital part of God's plan for our lives, serving as a period of preparation and growth. What often feels like inactivity is, in fact, a divine process where God is working in ways we cannot see. In His wisdom, He uses the waiting season to shape our character, deepen our trust in Him, and align us with His purpose. During this time, God is not only preparing what is ahead, but also preparing us for what lies ahead. He sees the bigger picture, knowing the precise moment when we are ready to step into what He has ordained. Often we focus solely on the destination, yearning for the promise to be fulfilled, but God is just as interested in the journey. The waiting season allows Him to address areas in our lives that need refinement. It is here that pride is stripped away, patience is cultivated, and reliance on Him becomes more profound. These moments of stillness are not wasted, they are where God does His most significant work within us. The waiting season teaches us to surrender our timelines and trust His. In our fast-paced world, waiting can feel like failure or stagnation. But with God, waiting is a process of alignment. He is not bound by human schedules or deadlines. His timing is perfect, and His plans are always good. When we trust in His sovereignty, we begin to understand that delays are not denials, but rather opportunities for greater preparation. God uses this time to build our resilience, strengthen our faith, and ensure that we are ready to handle the blessings He has in store. Waiting also shifts our perspective, moving us from a place of self-reliance to total dependence on Him. In the silence, we learn to listen more intently to His voice. In the absence of immediate answers, we discover that He is our ultimate source of strength and guidance. This process deepens our relationship with Him, teaching us that His presence is more valuable than the answers we seek. It is often in the waiting that we come to know Him more intimately, finding peace and assurance in His unchanging character. The process of waiting is also a time of pruning and preparation. Just as a gardener prunes a plant to encourage growth and fruitfulness, God prunes our lives to remove anything that hinders His plans. This can be a painful process, as it often involves letting go of our own plans, desires, or even relationships that are not aligned with His will. Yet, through this pruning, He makes room for new growth and greater blessings. The waiting season is not just about receiving what we've been praying for, it's about becoming who we need to be to steward it well. In the waiting, God also works behind the scenes, orchestrating circumstances, aligning opportunities, and preparing the hearts of others who will be part of His plan for us. Just as a farmer waits for the right season to harvest, God ensures that everything is perfectly timed. While we may not see the progress, He is always at work, ensuring that every detail aligns with His purpose. The waiting season is a divine process that transforms us, aligns us with God's purpose, and prepares us for what is to come. It is not a season to be rushed or resented, but one to be embraced with faith and trust in the One who holds all things together. God's timing is an intricate and perfect design, woven with divine wisdom and understanding far beyond human comprehension. Often we find ourselves yearning for immediate answers, desiring quick resolutions to our prayers, and the instant fulfillment of our dreams. Yet, God operates outside the limits of human schedules, working according to His eternal timeline. His timing is neither early nor late, it is always perfect, aligning with His plans for our good and His glory. While we may struggle to understand the delays, they are never without purpose. Each moment in the waiting is a piece of a larger picture that He is painting for our lives. In our impatience, it's easy to misinterpret delays as denials or silence as absence, but God's timing is deliberate. He sees the end from the beginning and knows precisely when to act. His delays are often divine setups meant to position us for blessings far greater than we could imagine. Sometimes we are not ready for what we are asking for. God, in His infinite wisdom, knows that granting our desires prematurely could lead to outcomes that we are not equipped to handle. Instead, He uses the waiting period to prepare us, strengthen our faith, and mature our character. This preparation ensures that when His blessings come, we can embrace them fully without being overwhelmed or unprepared. God's timing also aligns with His purpose for our lives. He doesn't just fulfill promises, He orchestrates them to fit into His greater plan for humanity. Our lives are part of a much larger narrative, and every season has its role in that story. What may seem like a delay to us is, in fact, perfect timing in the grander scheme of things. God is never rushed or pressured by external circumstances. He works in His time, ensuring that every detail aligns perfectly. This divine synchronization often results in outcomes far beyond what we could achieve on our own, revealing His sovereignty and power. The process of waiting on God's timing also cultivates trust and dependence on Him. When we surrender our plans and timelines to Him, we acknowledge that His wisdom surpasses our understanding. This act of surrender builds our faith, teaching us to rely not on our own efforts but on His guidance. It's in these moments of trust that we discover His peace, a peace that surpasses all understanding, allowing us to rest even when the answers seem delayed. God's timing is also evident in the way He aligns people, circumstances, and opportunities in our lives. Often the delay we experience is because He is working on others who are part of our story. He may be preparing a place, opening doors, or shaping hearts to ensure that everything comes together perfectly at the right moment. His plans are intricate, and nothing is left to chance. When the appointed time arrives, everything falls into place effortlessly, revealing the beauty of His orchestration. There are times when His timing brings us through seasons of waiting, struggle, or even pain. These moments are not wasted, they are times of growth and preparation. Like a potter molding clay or a refiner purifying gold, God uses these seasons to shape us into vessels capable of holding His blessings. The struggle often intensifies just before the breakthrough, reminding us that His plans are unfolding even when we cannot see them. This process strengthens our faith and helps us recognize that His ways are higher than ours. God's timing is a testament to His faithfulness. He never forgets a promise, and His word never returns void. While we may not always understand the reasons for His delays, we can trust that they are for our ultimate good. His love for us ensures that every plan He has is rooted in kindness, purpose, and a desire to see us flourish in His will. Waiting on His timing is not passive. It is an active demonstration of faith, a declaration that we trust Him completely. His timing is perfect, not because it aligns with our desires, but because it fulfills His perfect will. When we look back on the seasons of waiting, we often see the wisdom of His delays, the beauty of His orchestration, and the goodness of His plans. In trusting His timing, we learn to rest in His sovereignty and embrace the assurance that He is always working for our good. Signs of breakthrough are often subtle, yet they are always present, pointing to the fact that God is at work even when it seems like nothing is changing. These signs are divine markers, gentle reminders that what you've been waiting for is on the horizon. While it may be easy to overlook them in moments of frustration or doubt, they are intentional. God, in His infinite love and wisdom, provides glimpses of His activity to reassure and encourage us as we journey through seasons of waiting. One of the most common signs of an impending breakthrough is a stirring in your spirit. It may feel like an unexplainable sense of expectation, a heightened awareness that something is about to shift. This inner stirring is often accompanied by a renewed sense of purpose or a deeper connection to God's Word. Scriptures that once seemed distant suddenly resonate deeply, speaking directly to your situation and confirming what God has been preparing in you. This is not coincidence, it is the Holy Spirit working within, aligning your heart with God's plans and preparing you for what is to come. Another sign is the appearance of small victories or incremental progress. These might seem insignificant at first glance, but they are stepping stones leading to the fulfillment of God's promises. Perhaps a door opens that you didn't expect, or a relationship shifts in a way that aligns with your prayers. These moments, though they may appear minor, are divine affirmations that God is moving. They remind us that even the smallest changes can have significant impacts when they are orchestrated by the Creator of the universe. Sometimes a breakthrough is preceded by increased resistance or challenges. It may seem counterintuitive, but when things become more difficult, it's often because the enemy recognizes that you're on the brink of stepping into something significant. The intensification of obstacles is not a sign of defeat, rather, it's evidence that you are close to victory. Just as the darkest hour comes before dawn, the fiercest battles often occur right before the breakthrough. This is a crucial moment to stand firm, hold on to your faith, and trust that God's strength is made perfect in your weakness. Peace that surpasses understanding is another sign that breakthrough is near. Despite the chaos around you, there's a deep, unshakable calm that anchors your soul. This peace is not rooted in your circumstances, but in your trust in God's faithfulness. It's a divine assurance that He is in control and that His plans for you are good. When you find yourself able to rest in Him even amidst uncertainty, it's a clear indication that He is at work, aligning everything according to His purpose. God also speaks through unexpected opportunities or divine connections. You may encounter people or situations that seem to come out of nowhere, but perfectly align with your prayers and desires. These moments are not accidental, they are orchestrated by God to position you for the next season of your life. Whether it's a chance meeting, a new opportunity, or a sudden shift in circumstances, these are signs that He is opening doors no one can shut. Sometimes the clearest sign of breakthrough is a deeper intimacy with God. In the waiting, as you draw nearer to Him, you may find your relationship with Him transforming. Your prayers become more heartfelt, your worship more profound, and your reliance on Him more complete. This closeness is not only preparation for the breakthrough, but a breakthrough in itself, as it shifts your focus from the blessing to the one who blesses. It's in this deepened connection that you begin to recognize His hand in even the smallest details of your life. God's signs are always present, even if they require faith and discernment to notice. They serve as reminders that His promises are true, His timing is perfect, and His plans are unfolding exactly as they should. These signs are not meant to satisfy our desire for control, but to deepen our trust in His sovereignty. As we learn to recognize and appreciate them, we are reminded that God's faithfulness is unwavering and that the breakthrough He has promised is on its way. The moments before a breakthrough often feel like the most challenging and intense periods of life. It is as though everything begins to press harder against you, testing your resolve, faith, and endurance. This phenomenon is not by chance, it is a divine principle. Just as a mother experiences the greatest intensity of labor pains just before giving birth, the struggle often reaches its peak right before God's promises come to fruition in your life. This intensification is not meant to break you, but to prepare and strengthen you for what lies ahead. During these times, the pressure can feel overwhelming, as though the weight of waiting and the challenges you face are too much to bear. The enemy often takes this opportunity to amplify fear, doubt, and discouragement, whispering lies that make you question whether the breakthrough will ever come. Yet, it is important to recognize that this resistance is a clear sign that you are on the verge of something significant. The enemy would not fight so hard if there weren't something powerful on the other side of your struggle. The closer you are to the breakthrough, the harder He works to keep you from stepping into it. This season of intensified struggle often exposes our vulnerabilities, fears, and weaknesses. But these moments are not meant to shame or condemn us. They are opportunities for God's power to be revealed. In our weakness, His strength is made perfect. When we come to the end of our own ability to control, fix, or force outcomes, we are positioned to experience His miraculous intervention. The struggle strips away our self-reliance, teaching us to depend fully on Him. It is in this dependency that our faith is deepened, our character is refined, and our trust in God is strengthened. The intensity of the struggle also serves as a refining fire, purifying our motives and aligning our desires with God's will. Sometimes the delay in breakthrough is not because God is withholding, but because He is working to prepare us to steward the blessing well. The struggle reveals areas in our lives that need to be addressed: pride, impatience, or misplaced priorities, so that when the breakthrough comes, we are ready to embrace it without losing sight of Him. The process shapes us into the vessels He needs us to be, capable of carrying the weight of His blessings and fulfilling the purpose He has for us. In the midst of the struggle, it is common to feel like giving up. The temptation to quit is strongest when you are closest to the finish line. This is where perseverance becomes essential. Holding on to God's promises, even when circumstances seem to contradict them, is an act of faith that declares your trust in His timing and His goodness. The struggle is not a sign of God's absence, but of His work in progress. He is stretching you, growing you, and preparing you for the next level of your destiny. The struggle also heightens our awareness of God's presence and power. When we have exhausted our own strength and resources, we are more open to seeing His hand at work. The miracles, breakthroughs, and provisions that follow are undeniable testimonies of His faithfulness. The struggle, though painful, becomes a stage upon which God demonstrates His glory. It is in the darkest moments that His light shines the brightest, reminding us that He is always in control, even when we cannot see the full picture. The intensification of the struggle is also a test of faith. It challenges us to believe in God's promises despite the obstacles, to trust His timing despite the delays, and to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. This faith pleases God and activates His power in our lives. Every step taken in faith, no matter how small, brings you closer to the breakthrough. The struggle may feel overwhelming, but it is not permanent. It is a temporary season that precedes a permanent transformation. As the struggle intensifies, it also creates opportunities for growth and maturity. It teaches patience, resilience, and unwavering trust in God's sovereignty. Each trial becomes a building block for the foundation of your faith, equipping you to handle greater challenges and blessings in the future. What you endure in this season prepares you not only for the breakthrough itself, but for the responsibilities and opportunities that come with it. God is not only delivering you from something, He is also leading you into something greater. Though the struggle may seem unbearable, it is a sign that you are on the verge of stepping into God's promises. The intensity of the pain, resistance, or challenges is a precursor to the joy, freedom, and victory that are about to be revealed. In the midst of it all, hold fast to the truth that God is faithful. He has not brought you this far to leave you. The struggle is part of His divine plan, designed to bring you closer to Him and to the fulfillment of His promises. God's peace is a profound gift, a steady and unshakable assurance that anchors your soul in the midst of life's uncertainties. It is not dependent on external circumstances or fleeting emotions, but flows from His presence and His promises. This peace, which surpasses all understanding, becomes a refuge when storms rage, a quiet strength that sustains you when everything else feels unstable. It is a reminder that even when the world around you seems chaotic, God remains in control, faithful to His word and His plans for your life. This peace is not something we earn or achieve. It is a gift that comes from trusting in God's sovereignty. It is birthed in the heart of those who place their confidence in Him, knowing that He is good, that He loves them deeply, and that He is working all things together for their good. When you anchor yourself in this truth, the weight of anxiety, fear, and doubt begins to lift. God's peace does not mean the absence of challenges, but the presence of His assurance in the middle of them. There is a supernatural element to God's peace that defies logic. It allows you to remain calm when the circumstances around you seem overwhelming. When others may see reasons to despair, this peace holds you steady, rooted in the knowledge that God is with you. It is a peace that guards your heart and mind, protecting you from the lies of the enemy and the distractions of the world. In the face of uncertainty, it reminds you that your hope is not in what you see, but in the one who sees all. This peace is a stabilizing force, much like an anchor for a ship. When the winds of life blow fiercely and the waves threaten to overturn you, God's peace keeps you grounded. It holds you in place, ensuring that you are not carried away by the storm. You may feel the pressure of the winds or the rising of the waves, but the anchor keeps you secure. It reminds you that no matter how strong the storm, it is temporary, and the one who calms the seas is with you. God's peace also provides clarity. In moments of confusion or indecision, it quiets the noise of competing voices and allows you to hear His direction. It is in this stillness that you can discern His will, trusting that He will guide your steps. His peace serves as confirmation, a divine signal that you are walking in alignment with His purposes. When you lack peace, it may be a nudge from the Holy Spirit to pause, pray, and seek God's wisdom before moving forward. This peace is also a testimony to others. When people see you navigating difficulties with a calm assurance, it becomes evident that there is something different about you. It points them to God, showing that His presence makes a tangible difference in the lives of His people. It is a living witness of His faithfulness, a reminder that He is a God who provides not only solutions but also comfort in the waiting. In moments when doubt creeps in, God's peace reassures you that He has not forgotten you. It reminds you of His promises and His perfect timing. It whispers to your soul that He is working, even when you cannot see it. This peace enables you to rest in Him, to let go of the need to control every outcome, and to trust that He is orchestrating everything according to His will. God's peace is a source of strength. It renews your spirit and equips you to face challenges with courage and resilience. It allows you to stand firm even when the ground beneath you seems to be shifting. This peace is not passive. It is active and empowering, giving you the grace to endure and the hope to persevere. In every season of life, God's peace is a constant. It anchors you in His love, His promises, and His presence. It is a gift that sustains you, comforts you, and empowers you to move forward with confidence, knowing that you are held securely in His hands. In life's journey, with its storms, waiting seasons, and moments of struggle, the constant assurance is that God is with you, working all things for your good. His peace anchors your soul. His timing unfolds with perfect precision, and His signs of breakthrough remind you that you are never forgotten. The intensities of life are not meant to break you, but to prepare you, and the waiting is not a delay, but a divine process that aligns your heart with His will. Trust that He is faithful, sovereign, and infinitely wise, and hold on to the promise that He will complete the good work He has started in you. Rest in the truth that with God, your breakthrough is not only near, it is certain.